Well, recently there was a whole thing about shipping in the BTS community, right?
Oh, yes. Twitter was a mess like yesterday because there was a lot of fan art that was being released, but it was of like ships between the boys. Mostly I saw Jikook, which is Jimin and Jungkook, and some of them were very sexual in nature, and I personally just feel like shipping real people, any real people. I think Liz Kook is just as weird as G Kook or Tay Kook or whatever. I just think when you take two real people and you make edits of them together or like fan art of them being sexual, especially if they have a relationship that has been like established as platonic, I just feel like that's weird. But I've also been in a situation where like that's happened to me personally, not with fan art, Jesus God, no. But like where people were kept like, insinuating that me and a friend of mine should be together, and that was very awkward and uncomfortable for everyone, and it didn't turn out well
Yeah,
for anyone
as
involved.
someone with a male best friend, I can relate to that shit too. It is very irritating.
Yes. And it's like the worst feeling ever because if you talk about them too much, people bring them up and they're like, oh, you guys must be dating. Or like, if you spend a lot of time with them, they're like, you guys are going to get married. And you're just sitting there like, I literally think about how much this person doesn't wash their hands and cringe. Like,
So yeah, girls and guys can be friends platonically. Everybody,
not even just girls and guys,
guys and
like
dudes, guys.
anyone can be platonic. Two gay men that hang out all the time can be platonic. Two women who are both lesbians can be platonic. Some relationships are not meant to be more than
Yeah,
friendship,
period.
period. And you can show affection in those relationships and hold hands and cuddle and do whatever, and it can still be very extremely
Yeah.
platonic.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing because the K-pop industry makes a ton of money off of people
Mm-hmm.
shipping, and they actually do a lot.
Feed into
They
it a
do
little
lean
bit.
into it. So I it's really interesting to me that BTS complains about it the most because I feel like they don't do that. They're like maybe the one group that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't cuz there's like the whole yaoi phenomenon in like anime where it's
Yeah.
like boy love and that kind of stuff. So a lot of boy groups will lean into that. And so it's almost inevitable that that kind of shipping will happen. But I think when it gets toxic is definitely when, someone like Tay or something like that is like, please stop doing this. And then
Yeah.
people double
Tay is a big
down.
person who comes forward, especially on Weavers. He's like, you need some help. And I'm like, this is so
They're like,
embarrassing.
please stop.
It's embarrassing. But like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, make your art. If they inspire you, cool. But it's just like, sometimes it's taken a little far, especially when certain members have, like expressed that they do dislike it, which they have on Weverse multiple times because that's like the platform where they really do interact with fans and fan art and see that stuff.
Yeah, also, if you're gonna draw your
So,
weird fan art, don't send it to them. I mean, if it's like wholesome, cute fan art, that's one thing. But if it's like, I don't know, I don't even want to say. But I was gonna make a
exactly,
joke, and then I was like, I don't know if I want to say that. But basically,
exactly, out loud. But like, our point is with fan art, it has nothing to do with sexuality. I am just someone who thinks shipping real people is weird. Wholeheartedly. It doesn't matter if it's a heterosexual couple, a homosexual couple. If they are real people that eat, live, shit, and breathe, I think it's weird to like make whole, I don't know, fan fictions or story about them. Like if I ever read a fan fiction about myself, I would just kill over and
I mean,
die.
I think it was
Like
pretty funny, honestly. But
I would be like totally taken out. I'd be like, what is going on? Because I think and I think for myself. So if I had someone interpreting my actions towards people that I actually do care about in real life differently from what I saw, I'd be like, this is just wrong and weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the action itself of like wanting two people to be together, especially in an industry where their relationships are so private and we're kind of almost like trying so hard to figure out what the fucking
To
deal
know them
is.
better.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
to know
think
them
that could
better.
be innocent in some senses. I just think, if they say stop, no means no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's to me where it's like the line should be drawn. And also I think that like there are like a lot of weird shippers who like there's like fan wars between shippers of like and it's like
Yeah, that's the part that really bothers me. It's when it gets toxic.
yeah.
Like when it gets to pushing certain members away because you have a certain ship that you want to be fulfilled and you think the other person's in the way because they're really close to them. I'm like, that's
That's
just
weird.
wrong. Like I really hate when like Tay Cougars and G Cougars get in fights and they're like, fuck Jimin because I want Tay, and I'm like, you need to relax. And they're like wishing bad on certain members and like
Yeah, that shit's
it
weird.
gets